Our area's most beautiful properties deserve the finest realtors. Meeks Realty Group. We focus on buying and selling residential and commercial properties throughout the tri-state area. Contact Meeks Realty Group online at meeks.us or call 304-440-1101.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
And a good Thursday morning to you from the Parmar Stores studio. Welcome to the show, brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group, the voice of Charleston, WCHS. Ryan Nichols is our producer today. Again, Thornhill, our sponsor, title sponsor, if you will, for the show, including Thornhill Toyota. Come check out the new Camry, Corolla, RAV4, and more. They're not just selling cars at Thornhill. They're creating unforgettable adventures. Click or come by Thornhill Toyota, WV.com, or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 in Chapmanville. We do the show from the Parmar Store studio. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. Parmar, the official store of high school sports in West Virginia and the official convenience store of Marshall University. We are loaded up this morning. Two big stories out of Charleston. A major announcement for plans for the Caskey building, the old Sears location. So we're going to get into that a little bit later on. Also, Manna Meal on Courier Street will no longer, at least for the time being, be handing out food, at least not in the church across the street from us where I'm located here. Their food trucks will continue. So we're going to get a return visit from Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. She was on earlier this week on Mayor Monday, but she's coming back to talk about this Caskey announcement and also get her thoughts on the whole Manna Meal situation too. So we'll get into that a little bit later on the show. Fred Persinger is going to stop by to talk high school football playoffs. If you are a Chick-fil-A patron and have been eagerly anticipating their reopening at Southridge, well, your long national nightmare is over because Chick-fil-A is open again. Tom Minturn is going to join us hopefully a little bit later on the show, and I'll explain why it's hopefully a little bit later on. Plus, Veterans Day is being observed. All kinds of activities going on in the area over the next couple of days, and we're going to get into those things as well. Plus, as always, your phone calls and texts are welcome. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858, and the Fruth Pharmacy text line is 304-935-5008. Want to bring in Joe Stevens now from the Nitro Convention and Visitors Bureau. Joe, good morning. How are you, sir?
I am doing excellent, David. I am so impressed with your ability to do the beginning of the show without taking a breath. You are the true definition of a professional pronunciator.
Something like that. Fancy, as someone once called me, fancy out loud talker. So there you go. First of all, I want to say, Joe, thank you for allowing me to serve as a judge for the for the chili cook-off last Saturday. You, Mayor Casebolt, everyone with the city of Nitro. It was a great time. I think the exact title, if I get this wrong, correct me. The Wagon Tails and Nitro Ales Chili Cook-Off and Beer Fest. Did I get it right?
You're in the neighborhood just
okay,
as
close.
long as you had a good time, and you were in the neighborhood, as a matter of fact.
I was in the neighborhood. I was, but I had a great opportunity to come down there and to sample the different chilies and help with some of the judging. So thank you for that. All right, so let's talk Veterans Day. You know, no town does more for its veterans to honor them, in my opinion, than the town that was basically founded during World War I as a gunpowder manufacturing center in Nitro. Two big events happening, Joe. Talk about it.
Well, like you said, we are a city that really respects and honors our veterans and the time they served, and making sure we have each day in front of us the way we do. And we annually have two ceremonies. We have the Nitro War Memorial flag court down on Bank Street, and on Friday, tomorrow, we will be having our annual celebration ceremony starting at about 5 o'clock. We bring in a keynote speaker, and this year we're having a special honor for one of our local residents. So that is tomorrow, and we'll get into detail on that. And then we lower the flags on Friday at the flag court. Then on Saturday morning, we gather again at 7:30 for a minor flag ceremony. But the larger of the two ceremonies will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
And again, as I said, they're not to slight any of the other communities, because I know that all the communities really come out for Veterans Day as well. We should. Some have already had theirs. I know over in Putnam County, I think that they had their big celebration last weekend, and hats off to those folks. But again, Nitro is one I think that just kind of takes it to a whole nother level. I want to talk about your keynote speaker, Major Mara Boggs, for a moment. I've known her for some time. I've done different events with her over the years. She's really something else, Joe.
She is one of the special ladies, special people in this community. She steps up whenever things need to be done. She is currently, Mara is currently the state director for U.S. Senator Joe Manchin. Also, she is also the mother of the second place Bella Boggs, who came in second place in the state cross country championship, running for Charleston Catholic. So let's put that out there
absolutely.
in the front. And congratulations to Bella. She's a very superb runner. But with that said, her mother, Mara, is an Army veteran. She was the first woman to command an engineering airborne unit into combat in the U.S. Army. Her unit was 225. Her unit of 225 soldiers, rather. They performed 800 combat missions, earned the Army's annual award for best engineering group. But most importantly, all 225 soldiers returned home safely. The retired Major Boggs served 13 years in the 82nd Airborne Division and 1st Cav, and received a number of honors. And again, she is going to be speaking tomorrow, our keynote speaker. And her speech is going to be on the role of women in the military throughout the years. We always step forward we think of the military being very male dominant, but the role of the women have been very, very important in the armed services across the board. And I believe Mara will step up and explain just the role of women in the military.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And again, we're talking with Joe Stevens from the Nitro Convention and Visitors Bureau about their 2-day celebration of veterans that's going to be going on. And you said there's some other special recognitions that are going to be going on as part of the celebrations as well.
David, we have a local resident. His name is Robert Bob Denny. He is 96 years old, and he is a World War II veteran. He served in the Navy. He was a machinist mate, 3rd class. He served on the USS Marquette, which this was one of those ships that loaded the landing barges that when there was invasions on the beach or something, and the landing crafts that went into the beach, his ship was the one that was transporting these, and he served in the Pacific. He served in the Navy from 1944 to 1946, and he was we're going to be honoring him, but he was sharing this story, and you just never know where you're going to be when history is being made. And he was explaining to me that they had gone through the Panama Canal, and they were headed towards Pearl Harbor. And actually his ship was going to be, and they knew this, the ship was going to be involved in the eventual invasion of Japan, the homeland of Japan. And as they were traveling through the Pacific Ocean, word came of the dropping of the first and then second atomic bombs, and the invasion was not then needed. But he was saying that they were on the ship, and they got the word from the captain of the ship that the bombs had been dropped. So again, you never know where you're going to be when history is being made. But he is going to be honored by the state Senate. State Senator Glenn Jeffries will be having a proclamation for Mr. Denny. Then also we will be presenting him a flag. Mara Boggs will be presenting him a flag that was flown over the U.S. Capitol, and that's being presented on behalf of Senator Joe Manchin. But it's just a way to honor a local hero.
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Denny put his time in and served us well.
And I can tell you, as time marches on, Joe, and you know all well about that as I do. When I was a kid, there were World War II veterans everywhere, including my grandfather. And now, sadly, because of the march of time, as I said, I mean, this gentleman's 96 years old, and you wish you could have sat down and possibly, I know I did, and talked to my grandfather more about it. And that's just part of it. So, I mean, there's a reason why that I think it was Tom Brokaw called them the greatest generation, because they definitely were. There's so many different ways in the area, not only in Nitro, but other areas as well, that you can honor veterans. So even if you can't make Nitro, go to one of these, go to as many of them as you can. And you heard me tell the story, Joe, on the show before. You know, my father, I did not serve in the military. My father did. He was a decorated Vietnam era veteran who actually served in Vietnam and literally gave his life for the country because he died from his exposure to Agent Orange. And so it's kind of personal, you know, for me a little bit, like it is for a lot of other people.
And Dave, you know, I think Charleston has a ceremony on Saturday. St. Albans had a parade last week. The city of Ripley will be having a parade, and they do a fantastic job in Jackson County there with a Veterans Day parade. But you're right, a number of communities throughout West Virginia will be celebrating the veterans. But I would like to remind everybody that the Nitro History and Wars Museum, located on 20th Street in Nitro, the volunteers over there have done an awesome job in depicting and bringing back memorabilia on all of the wars, from World War I, World War II, any conflict that the U.S. was in. There is memorabilia there, but most importantly, it is now the final resting area place for the Vietnam War Memorial, and we've had a lot of people stop by. You know, quite a few West Virginians died in the Vietnam War, and their names are etched in the War Memorial. But that is open daily from noon to 4 every Monday through Friday. So if people coming to the ceremony tomorrow, they can also go over and visit the Wars Museum and maybe see somebody, a relative that we have honored in the museum.
Well, Joe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you again. Joe Stevens, Nitro Convention and Visitor Bureau. Information is available on the city's Facebook page. Again, just hit us with the times of the two events again.
Okay, Friday, the event will get underway, and I've gotten a weather report from the one and only Spencer Atkins of WOWK-TV, and he says the rain will be out of the area between 2 and 3. Great. So we will be good for the 5 o'clock ceremony right there at 20th and Bank Street at the flag court that we have on First Avenue there. And then that's at 5 o'clock. And then Saturday morning, we'll have a minor celebration with the flags at 7:30, David.
All right. And again, all the information is available on the city's Facebook page. Joe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. We'll talk soon.
You be safe, my friend.
All right. Joe Stevens, again, Nitro Convention and Visitors Bureau. The show is brought to you in part by your local insurance experts from Brightway, the Maze Agency of Taze Valley. You know, from your home to your car or even to your pet, Brightway, the Maze Agency will customize the perfect insurance plan for you and your family. At Brightway, the Maze Agency, they aren't just agents, they are your friends and neighbors. Call John and Sherry Maze today, 304-814-2509, or visit brightwaymaze.com. We're back after this from the Parmar Store Studio and brought to you by the Thornhill Auto Group on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses want to thank you for supporting local small businesses.
Are you worried about retirement? Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is the premier retirement planning service in West Virginia. With years of experience and a commitment to personalized service, we'll work with you to create a customized retirement plan that addresses your unique needs and goals. Whether you're just starting to plan or nearing retirement age, Stike Wealth Enhancement Group makes the process easy and stress-free. Visit StikeWEG.com for more information.
Securities and advisory service offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA/SIPC. Thrive with 5 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 5%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by a Poca Valley Bank location today or call 844-782-2651. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield. Subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
If you're 19 or older with certain underlying medical conditions such as asthma or diabetes, you can get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia, a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. If you're 65 or older, it is also recommended you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. No matter the season, talk to your doctor about vaccination today and learn more at lung.org/protect yourself. A message from the American Lung Association in collaboration with Pfizer.
Furnished by the American Lung Association.
Service of Biggly Piggly Wiggly. When shopping at your Biggly Piggly Wiggly, be sure to join their loyalty program. You can save big at the gas pumps and throughout the store with their electronic coupons and free gifts on Fridays just for stopping by from farm to table. Biggly Piggly Wiggly, the best kept secret in Charleston. Texting service provided by Fruth Pharmacy, your hometown family pharmacy. And speaking of Fruth, they're celebrating their 71st year in business. Stop by any Fruth location, register to win some great prizes, including Fruth gift cards, smart TVs, speakers, gift baskets, fragrance sets, candles, apparel, and more, with winners chosen at every Fruth location. Fruth's been your hometown pharmacy for 71 years. Coming up a little bit later on the show, Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin is going to stop by for the second time this week. We got big news to get to. There's a big story breaking late last night that Manna Meal in Charleston will no longer be doing food distributions. Their food trucks are still out and about, but not at the church on Courier Street. And we're going to talk to the mayor about that. Also, she's going to be talking about this Caskey project as well, the former Sears location. Big happenings there. There's always big happenings when this guy's here. Fred Persinger, the voice of high school sports in West Virginia. How are you?
I am well, sir. How are you?
I am doing fine. A loaded up show today, but there's always time for Sir Frederick.
Well, anything I can do to help you out, Dave. I'm here for you.
I appreciate that. High school football playoffs. It is time.
It is.
It is time once again. Quick plug for the two games we have this weekend. Tomorrow night, Chris, Jarrett, and Matt will be in Hurricane for the Redskins and Parkersburg. And then Saturday afternoon, it's East Fairmont, as they'll be taking on the Herbert Hoover Huskies. Both, Fred, should be good games.
Oh, I think they will be good. You keep looking at Herbert Hoover. Last year, they finished certainly as the number 9 seed, just like this year. And they made it all the way to Wheeling. I talked with Joey Fields on our high school sports line show last night, and he says, hey, if this is the way you have to do it, let's do it. So they also lost their first 2 games last year. Mm-hmm. They lost the first 2 games this year. So we'll see. But East Fairmont has an outstanding football team led by Irv Cruikshanks, who's the quarterback. Dom Fantasia is a running back. So Joey Fields knows he'll have his hands full.
Yeah, it should be a couple of great contests. And again, we have coverage tomorrow night and also on Saturday afternoon of that second game. We'll talk about some of the other areas teams in the playoffs, Fred. Winfield faces Lewis County. Friday night, AA. You got Nitro playing host to Scott Saturday afternoon. That Scott Skyhawks team, man, they just absolutely have been killing it this season. Then we got AAA Friday night, Cabell, Midland, and Musselman. Also Friday night, GW and Bridgeport. And Huntington facing Morgantown. Some really good games on tap, Fred.
Always are. Well, you get to the field of 16 in each class, and every game really should be good. I mean, you're getting the 16 best teams, at least the 16 best teams that played the best during the regular season. And you mentioned the Scott game and Nitro. Mm-hmm. Scott was rolling along, like you said, undefeated until last week. Right. And then last week they met Nitro at Nitro, and Nitro beat them. So it's a repeat.
How big of an upset was that in your opinion? Or was it an upset at all?
Oh, it was an upset, no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. Undefeated team, and really Matt Fry, the quarterback for Scott, had just been doing everything perfectly. But we knew that Nitro, they got quite a few additional players through the transfer portal or whatever you want to call that thing. So Nitro's been good, no doubt, and good for them. But I think Scott got the wake-up call they needed. That'll be a heck of a ball game. That one, you flip a coin because, they just met last week. They're meeting again this week, and Nitro figures they stole one at Nitro. Mm-hmm. Now they got to go to Scott, so we'll see what happens.
And it's always an interesting phenomenon that you have that. And really, football's really the only one that really has that, where you meet a team on Friday night and you turn right around and play them next Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, we have six games where they met during the regular season, the two teams, but this one is certainly the closest, and that was just a week ago.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, Fred, as a coach, I guess you're looking at your players, and you're saying it doesn't matter that you won all those games in the regular season or you knocked off your crosstown or cross-country rivals, because it's a brand new season. Everyone pretty much, Fred, starts at 0-0 right now.
No doubt. But, every week a coach will tell you, well, that's just one game on the schedule. That's our next game. But this time that's a fact. It's the next game, because if you lose this one, your season is over. So it is a very, very important game. And just because you're the top seed or a higher seed doesn't mean you're going to win. That's for certain.
Right. Yeah. What are some of the other games outside our area that you're looking at?
I think really we got a real good game going on over in the Eastern Panhandle tomorrow night, and that's going to be Spring Valley at Spring Mills. Spring Valley started the season 0-4, and they have not lost since then. Mm-hmm. They've won 6 in a row. They're 6-4. Going to Spring Mills, Spring Mills. I think I did that right.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, Spring Mills. They're going to Spring Mills, and the Cardinals are very, very good this year. The number 7 seed. They lost twice during the regular season. One of those to Martinsburg. I think that's going to be a really, really good one. Wheeling Park is playing maybe some of the best football in the state. They go to Jefferson, so that's a long trip. I think George Washington and Bridgeport. GW goes to Bridgeport. Bridgeport at Wayne Jamison Field are always, always good, but the beating that GW put on Beckley the last game of the regular season proves they can score some points, and Abe Fenwick is as good a quarterback as there is in the state. So I think that will be a good one as well.
Man, it's exciting.
It is.
I love this time
it's
of
a
year.
great time.
The countdown to Wheeling is on.
It's on. The road to the Super Six is on.
Yeah, all right. And after the games, of course, just like during the regular season, you and Dave Jacklin, the cast of thousands, will have Metro News Game Night.
We will indeed. There's 3 more game nights, and we start a new show coming up Sunday night. It's a show that we've been doing for the last 3 years. On Sunday night, we take the last hour of the sports line from 7 until 8, called The Road to the Super Six, and we'll review what happened and take a look at what will happen the next week, because we'll have all the pairings by Sunday night.
And, of course, in the middle of all this, we've got college football this weekend, too, with both West Virginia and Marshall. I know you'll be part of the Mountaineer coverage as well.
Mountaineers at Oklahoma, and, Oklahoma – last year, West Virginia welcomed Oklahoma to Milan Puskar Stadium and beat the Sooners. Mm-hmm. Sooners have lost 2 in a row. That West Virginia will have to bring their A-plus game. And Marshall just needs to win. I mean, they need a win bad. I know there are, last time I looked, like a 3-point favorite, but this is no pushover game tomorrow or Saturday night. So
and this is the 75 game.
That's right.
Too, which
and
is
it means
big.
a lot.
It does. I mean, you kind of wrap it up, but I tell you, I don't want to talk high school or college football that much, but I will say this: as a Thundering Herd guy, somebody spends a lot of time in Huntington. It's been extremely difficult the last couple of weeks. 5 in a row now.
5 in a row, yeah.
And
started out 4-0.
And with the way we played against Virginia Tech and with the victory and of course going back to last season with Notre Dame, there's a lot of questions coming out of the Jewel City right now.
No doubt, and I think it starts at the quarterback. Is Fansler the guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Pennington's a little too young still yet. I think he proved that when he got
proved
in.
It, yeah.
So, you got to go with what you have,
All
and we'll see. Charles Huff's a good coach.
All right. Fred, as always, we'll be listening. Of course, our coverage, we have the 2 games. We have one Friday night and one Saturday afternoon, and then after the games on Friday night, we'll be listening to you and Mr. Jacklin and the entire crew, and we'll be listening on Sunday night as well. Go to work, man.
We'll be there, brother.
All right. The great Fred Persinger. It is 9:30. Show's brought to you by Bridge Valley. Are you interested in improving your company's IT workforce? Well, did you know that Bridge Valley offers custom-tailored IT training to bridge those skills gaps? With Bridge Valley, you can train for little or no cost with a 50-50 salary match. Bridge Valley can also supply skilled graduates and apprenticeships for your company. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today. I want to bring in the show Tom Mentor now for Chick-fil-A. Tom, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. How are you, sir? I'm doing well.
And for somebody that just got out of the dental chair, you sound pretty good.
Yes. They didn't. No numbing. But that was that would have been kind of messy trying to talk on the radio for sure. So.
I said that at the top of the show. I said we hope to have Tom Mentor on. I didn't explain to the folks why you were actually in the dental chair this morning. You said I hope to be done by around 9:20 or 9:30. I'm glad it was able to work out. All right, so I had you on a couple weeks ago to talk about the temporary closing of the Southridge location of Chick-fil-A for the remodeling. Happy to report you guys are back.
We're back. We're open. We're open 6:30 to 9:30 Monday through Thursday, and 6:30 to 10 on Friday and Saturday. Serving breakfast, catering. You got it. We're wide open, ready to roll.
What will people see differently, Tom, when they come in?
That's a great question. Well, we did our drive-through. We have the drive-through door like we have at McCorkle Avenue. So that's one thing. And then our dining room, we don't have a playground. So look out. So you'll probably be getting some comments on that one on your Facebook page, or I will be, one of us, or both. So no playground. And then we just have our seating. It's more open, all new tile. I mean, it's a major project because as they had to run some drains and run some different, do a lot of. They had to dig up part of the foundation to be able to do all this stuff. So it's crazy. But yeah, we're. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just taking a breath. Go ahead.
Gotcha. Okay. I would say yes, and so we're getting new dining room furniture as well. So it's just a lot of new things. It's basically is a facelift. I mean, it was all in on the inside. When you come in, you'll know it's Chick-fil-A, but you're not going to recognize it as the old Chick-fil-A that you used to come to.
And Tom, when you were on the show with me a couple of weeks ago, you said it had been how long since there had been any kind of major remodeling there?
Any kind of remodeling has been about 5 years.
Okay.
So 4 or 5 years.
Which is kind of a lifetime in the world of what you do, those type of establishments, because, I mean, you're constantly nationwide, whether it's you or one of the other ones. I mean, you're constantly coming out with new things. And I know how, because I got friends that are like you that own those places, and they're kind of like, well, corporate offices always saying we need to do this and we need to do that. I want to talk about the scheduling a little bit before we let you go. How did the scheduling work out for you guys? Because sometimes you can set a goal with these types of projects and they'll finish right on time, and then sometimes they're ahead of schedule, and sometimes they're way behind. Where was this one, Tom?
It was right on schedule. Now, originally they told us 2 weeks, and then I got a phone call halfway through the project, and they said, hey, we messed up in telling you the scope. The scope of this work will take 3 weeks. So it was right on time. We had planned for 2 weeks, and one question I was asked multiple times last time, which I thought we talked about, but I guess I wasn't clear enough, is what do we do with the people who worked at Southridge? Mm-hmm. Just to make sure everybody knows, nobody got laid off. Everybody came to work at McCorkle. Some of them took a little bit of vacation time, but nobody got laid off. Everybody got paid. Everybody still had a job. We didn't just say it's basically too bad on you, especially right before Christmas. I mean, we want to be a caring company. We do our best to make sure we take care of our team members. So I was asked that multiple times, so I want to make sure we're really clear that everybody gets taken care of. Everybody can have Christmas.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, Tom, I appreciate you rolling out of that dentist chair without numbing this morning to come on the show to tell us about the upgrades and the remodeling. It's all over. You're done now. You're ready to see the people as we head into what I would think would be one of the busiest times of year for you folks out there at Southridge.
Yes. It's a very busy season. Our catering season really ramps up. Everybody, for all the Christmas parties, Thanksgiving parties, office parties, our catering really ramps up. And so, as I say that, we're looking for more great team members. And one of the things that people ask us all the time, is what do we offer? So we offer full benefits, we offer 401k, profit sharing, pension. And for a quick service restaurant, you don't hear that. So
yeah, okay. Where do people, if they're interested in applying for a job at Chick-fil-A, how do they do that? What's the process?
It's really easy. Just go to kvcfa.com. It's for Kanawha Valley, Chick-fil-A.com, but kvcfa.com. Go there, and you can pick your store and go apply wherever you want to apply.
And that's one of the great things I would think about being in this location, because there are a few that you said you're allowed to pick your store. Before we let you go, I do want to do one thing, give you a chance to plug that catering, because this is the time, as you said, with holiday parties, and some are in office and some are at private locations. How does that process work? How do people get on the schedule to have their events catered by Chick-fil-A?
That's a great question. It's actually a very simple process. You can always call in our number, 304-205-5829, or just go to kvcfa.com. And the one thing about it is, a lot of times we get asked, hey, do y'all do catering for breakfast? Yeah, we cater breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We do box meals. We have nugget trays, chicken strip trays. And one of my all-time favorites that people don't know about is we have the mac and cheese trays. And there is nothing better if you want to take something that will be game-changing to Thanksgiving dinner. Bring some mac and cheese and some gallons of sweet tea and lemonade, and you'll be the MVP of your Thanksgiving dinner. So,
well, I'll tell you, people heard me talk about this. I was at the mac and cheese cook-off this past weekend at Capitol Market. I judged 32 different kinds of mac and cheese. I'm good on the mac and cheese for just a little while, myself personally. Okay. Give me till next week, and I'll be good to go. Okay. Yeah. All right, Tom. I appreciate you being on the show, man. Thanks a lot. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Minturn again from Chick-fil-A. It's 24 minutes away from 10. Hey, we're brought to you by General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. From kitchens to paints to decks, straight framing wood, roofing metal, anything else you need, you're going to find it at General Hardware and Lumber of Winfield. Back to Veterans Day. I got a text here I want to read. It says, text Dave, veterans always appreciate a handshake or a high five when being thanked for our service, but I left Iraq in 2007, and that war is still trying to kill me due to multiple complications with burn pit exposure, similar to Agent Orange issues with Vietnam veterans. If folks really want to thank a vet, they should have serious discussions with elected leaders to ensure America never poisons another generation of veterans ever again. I cannot say any more about that than what that texter did, and I certainly appreciate that texter for throwing that in there. All right, it's 23 minutes away from 10. We'll take a break. We're back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Are you ready to make every adventure awesome? Look no further than the new Thornhill Toyota. Introducing the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. The ultimate companions for your journey. Whether it's the sleek Camry or the adventurous RAV4, we've got the perfect ride for you. And don't forget our unbeatable selection. We've got a ride for every style and budget. At the new Thornhill Toyota, we're not just selling cars, we're creating unforgettable adventures. So why wait? Visit us today and let's make every adventure awesome together. Click or come by at ThornhillToyotaWV.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. See Thornhill for full details.
If it's not cost effective for your business to maintain an in-house IT staff, then let Comax Business Systems be your complete IT consulting service solution. By outsourcing IT services, you free up yourself and your staff for revenue generating opportunities. Comax can provide an IT help desk with 24/7 support, server and PC management and monitoring, IT strategy, backup servers, and a client portal to help keep track of everything. Call Comax Business Systems for a free quote today. Comax Business Systems, keeping West Virginia's business data safe, secure, and efficient for 25 years.
Elevators. You take them for granted until they let you down. If you're working to maintain a stellar reputation, then let me introduce you to DC Elevator. We want to work with you to make sure your people get where they are going. What could be better than a new company coming to the area and already having 45 years of experience? DC Elevator is bringing a new culture of elevator maintenance, repairs, modernization, and installation to West Virginia. Don't leave your people hanging. For a free consultation, call DC Elevator at 304-345-7222.
Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Food Pharmacy text 304-935-5008. We're brought to you in part by Meeks Realty Group. As a locally owned real estate powerhouse, they specialize in residential and commercial properties. No property too big or too small for Meeks Realty. With their team of the finest realtors in the business, Meeks Realty Group is your trusted partner in finding your dream home or your dream commercial investment. Call them today, 304-401-1101, or visit meeks.us. Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin back with us again. How are you?
Good morning. This is great. What are you doing tomorrow? I'll be here.
No, actually, tomorrow.
Wait, it's like Fun Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday Funhouse. Morgan Morrison is going to be my guest host tomorrow from
she's
Rock City.
Okay, yeah, I'd pick her.
Yeah, Morgan Morrison will be on the show tomorrow.
Actually, I texted her earlier in the week. I have a new sweatshirt that I purchased for the holiday season, and it says Holly Jolly.
Mm-hmm.
For the Holly Jolly Brawley
event
that's coming up.
I know.
Black Friday. Can't wait.
Spent a lot of time talking about that. I know that I'm friends with her on her social media, and I saw that she's been posting a lot about that. That's kind of one of her pet projects.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. Yeah. It's going to be really great.
Mayor, we got a lot to uncover this morning. Thank you again. Well, I had you on earlier this week, so we get to double the Amy for the price of one for the amount of money we pay you to come in here. I'm kidding. Don't get that started.
Somebody
I'm just kidding.
Will absolutely say.
No. She doesn't even get a T-shirt.
No.
I want to talk about seriously about the announcement yesterday about the Caskey property, and we'll get to that. But first, news broke last night that Manna Meal, which operates right across the street from us, would be ceasing operations, at least temporarily, as far as a food distribution site from that location. Their food trucks will continue to operate around the city, and I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later. Now, this all comes on the heels of numerous issues there. Any comment from your office on that?
Well, I'll say this because I think this is the most important thing. We have had since the time I've been here, and I know in the past too, a great relationship with Manna Meal. The best thing about Manna Meal right now is probably something that most people don't know. The best thing they have going for them is a board president, Chuck Hampshire, actually, who owns Purple Moon down here.
Chuck's been on the show before. Yeah.
He is probably the most incredible community person that I know. But it's a good organization. I believe great board members, and they know to have a successful organization, just as we all do. You have to be flexible. You have to change systems or structures when necessary. And, after long conversations with lots of folks, by the way, at Manna Meal, Sacred Heart, the principal, parents, the Episcopal Diocese, the bishop of the Episcopal Diocese of West Virginia were included in those conversations. They're looking to restructure. As a matter of fact, I saw the announcement they made when I think everybody else saw it last night of different locations that they're going. But to go backwards, we have been working with them and to try to get them a mobile food truck, and actually we're successful in doing that and securing ARPA funds for Manna Meal to do that because taking a page from our care team. We know this. We know service is best provided when it's done outreach. Having it sounds like it might work. Hey, everybody, come here. I am a big believer in if you want to help people and you want to serve people with whatever need that is, Dave, you got to go to them. That is the best way. It's why I went door to door. If you want to talk to people and work with people, you've got to meet face to face. We learned that. Over the past couple of years. And, quite frankly, I'll remind folks that during that COVID time that we had, we worked hand in glove with the operations of Manna Meal that they didn't serve out of their facility. They, had to go out and troubleshoot. And so, the evolution of that, I think that, while I wasn't involved in the executive board meeting, I wasn't involved in their decisions, I do agree with their decision. I think it's a good decision. And you have to look at your structure and say, okay, what's working? What's not working, and how do we do what we do best, which is feed people? Okay, great. That will always be Manna Meal's mission. There were some, I try not to get on social media because most of it is, 90% incorrect information.
What? Wait a minute, what?
There were,
what?
rumors. Oh, they're shutting them down. The city's shutting them down. No, that's not happening.
State that for the record right now.
Please. It's Manna Meal is not, unless that's Manna Meal's decision to stop serving food to folks in our community. That's their mission. And by the way, they do a good job. And so meals aren't going to stop. Services aren't going to stop. As a matter of fact, our care team is already trying to troubleshoot. Hey, how may we be helpful in this process? But rumors that people have out there of the city or the church or folks shutting folks down is simply not true. You know what good leadership looks like? It looks like Chuck and the board saying, hey, we may need to fix some things. Let's work together with the city. Let's work together with the diocese. Let's work together with the school that's right across the street, and let's come up with good solutions. That is what people pay us to do, is to produce good results and to provide good leadership, not get upset about things, not to start rumors, but to work together to say, we've got some challenges, let's fix them. But most important, let's feed people in need. And maybe we need to retweak that, but that's still the goal of Manna Meal. And by the way, they have the city's support in doing that, for sure.
We're going to spend some a little extra time talking about this a little bit later on because I just got some information that we've got some news crews that are going to be coming here today. I mean, at least I took a shower today. The hair and makeup look okay?
It does. Always. Spot a point. Spot on.
It's almost paid for.
You've got it.
All right, so let's talk about, we'll get back to Manna Meal a little bit later on.
As my kids would say, sick. You look sick, meaning good, not bad.
Okay.
It's a thing kids say.
Okay. All right. Well, I understand that we have news crews on their way here.
Oh, okay, great.
So we'll go back to the Manna Meal thing.
Gotcha.
We got to basically recreate it. All right. So let's talk about this Caskey announcement that came out yesterday. It was announced that the Municipal Planning Commission has approved $65 million for a development of the Caskey property. Now, that's a former Sears location. Some people refer to it as that. It's going to be a 4-story, 120,000 square foot building that'll hold up to 500 employees, a loading dock, 18,000 square foot annex. No word yet on who will exactly be in that building. I'm presuming you still can't give the deets. How's that? The deets, as the kids say.
They say that.
On I don't know why kids are stupid.
Yeah,
all right, so
right.
So you can't tell us yet on who's coming in there. Right?
We have been working on this project for close to 2 years, and so it's so nice to see a large project like this come to fruition. And you just gave the stats: 120,000 square feet and 65 million. What I want to mention is that Remington, who has this project right now, this is their very first project.
Now talk about Remington. Remington is
they're the company that is managing this property, that is working with the architects on the ground to build this building. This is their very first project in the United States. So that is worth noting. But what's most important is, on the heels of the Worley announcement earlier, Yesterday, unanimous, by the way, the Municipal Planning Commission, and unanimous. There's no other action that needs to take place from the city for this to happen, this incredible project to happen. But we're talking about, again, hundreds of jobs downtown Charleston, and that's important, Dave. Just like Worley, folks said, well, it's only 50 new jobs. No, every job that we get to secure in the city of Charleston is good for the city of Charleston. It's not good for necessarily Amy Goodwin. It's good for our small business owners. It's good for our pharmacies. It's good for our restaurants. As a matter of fact, one of the restaurateurs downtown said to me, "Ooh, I can't wait till Worley moves in. I want to give them free lunch certificates so they know how close I am, that I do grab and goes or I do catering orders." So this is about building up, and it goes in line with what we have been trying to do in that part of the city for quite some time. This is going to work so beautifully with, the new hotel that's coming in, that development, what we've done with the management of the Coliseum and Convention Center, with the sports center, which is absolutely going to be great. We're looking at ways to, how do we improve the municipal auditorium? That's something that we have been talking about for years now, actually decades now. But how do we make that part of town what it needs to be? Oh, by the way, when you're traveling in from the city of Charleston, if you're a visitor, if you're coming in for a concert, that's the gateway. And so this new building that you're going to see, and by the way, it's a beautiful building. When you're coming down Virginia Street, right now you see a parking lot. You're not going to see that now. You're going to see brand new hotels. Of course, Poca Valley Bank and Linda Ashley have that great property right beside Municipal Auditorium, which is going to be developed in this new site. It's going to change the look of that area. And yes, that's important. But what's most important, we're going to have folks working downtown Charleston. And the other thing that I'll note, Dave, that, with Worley and the conversations we're having there and with this announcement is what we always work on behind the scenes, which is downtown housing in general, okay? It's a problem in Putnam County, it's a problem in Kanawha County, it's a problem in Cabot County, but especially a lot of these workers want downtown housing. Mm-hmm. People want to walk to class, they want to walk to work, they want to walk to go get their lunch, and so building a vibrant and robust downtown is always, it's in our 10-year plan, of course, that we're revising right now, but it's every mayor's focus is, how do you make a vibrant and robust downtown? And then, obviously work with the communities that attach to this great 33 square mile city that we love.
Again, we're talking with Charleston Mayor Amy Goodwin. The show is brought to you in part by Huston's Pizza. This month at your local Huston's, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and 10 cheese sticks, only $21.99. Visit HustonsPizza.com for details. Getting back to this project, do we have any idea of a time frame? Yeah, they started talking about it yesterday. 2025, the fall of 2025. This is going to be fast. Adam Crayson, who was EMM, who works with Remington, who's been kind of the man on the ground, and Jim Polly were there yesterday. And what they both said was, in the first, I want to say he said March, you're going to see that building come down, because that whole Caskey building is going to come down to the ground. So there's, the thing that any mayor in any city likes to see are cranes in a city and development. So you'll see in that first part of next year that building come down, and then you'll start to see that development happen. If you saw some of the photos that were posted on it, it's really great. I will note this, because this was actually brought up by two folks on the Planning Commission, Dave, and I actually brought it up when this project was first proposed to me a while back. I said, I hate a parking lot on the river. Mm-hmm. I hate that. I don't like parking garages and lots on the river. However, the way that they have this designed with greenery and green space on the opposite side, and again, if you've ever been down Virginia Street, most of your listeners have, that is the gateway. That is what most people see. Mm-hmm. Yes, Canal Boulevard, you got about 8,300 cars that go back and forth. But when you're coming in the city of Charleston, so it's a parking lot on either side, right? And it's about 125 spaces. The way they have it laid out, my concerns were subsided, as were some of the commissioners yesterday who were asking questions about this project.
about the design. So
it's actually going to be reversed, basically.
That's right. Yeah.
It's actually going to be facing Canal Boulevard.
That's right. It's going to be facing Canal. It's going to be the building would be on the Virginia Street side and the employee parking. And but the way Dan Verrent, who is our director of planning here in the city of Charleston and has been for 25 years, said yesterday, thank you for bringing this project in the state that it's in. It's one of the best design projects that we have had. And, there's always some tweaking to do, right? You got to make sure this sidewalk, this curb cut, and make sure the fire department knows what entrance and exit, those little picky things that are necessary. But it came to the Planning Commission in exceptional form. I will note that the several Planning Commission members, I think including Councilmember Sean Taylor, kind of went, yay, when they heard that the power lines, some of those, which are the only ones out there, are going to be buried. Okay. And which is going to make a huge difference because it's one of the big complaints that we get on that block or all of the exposed power lines. So power lines will be buried in that area. So when I say that we talk about city center at Slack Plaza all the time, Dave. We talk about different areas of the city that are seeing this type of development. This is where a lot of investment is going in. Hundreds of millions of dollars are going to go into this area in the city of Charleston. And there's going to be some more that's going to be done in that area as well.
All right. Well, I know you got a lot to get to today, so we'll go ahead and cut you loose and let you get out of here. When can we? I know crystal ball, but we'll close with this. When do you anticipate that there could be an announcement as to what it's going to be?
Yeah, and I apologize about that, but you know what? When you're good partners with companies,
I get it. I get it completely.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of the worst kept secret, and it has been for a long period of time.
It doesn't take long on social media for speculation.
Yeah, but that's my job, right? My job is to make sure that we uphold the agreements that we have with folks because it's a business, and we want to make sure that we're protecting their anonymity as well. But I would imagine sooner rather than later. Most folks probably know this already, but that was my commitment to the company and working with them. But it is a very large energy company, and we are more than excited to welcome them to downtown Charleston.
All right. Mayor, I appreciate it. I promise you won't be on the show tomorrow. I promise.
That's okay if you want me to. Now that I know Morgan's here, I may just show up.
Well,
anyway.
I mean,
is she bringing cupcakes?
I'm going to say that's part of the deal. My Friday guests have to bring me something.
My favorite thing that she makes are the cream horns.
Right. And fun fact, where Rock City started, right?
Yes. L.A., baby.
She's an L.A. girl. L.A. girl.
Duchess Bakery and Rock City. All right. Love them both.
All right. We got to take a break. We're back after this from the Parmar Store studio. And we're brought to you by the Thornhill Outer Group of the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
Hello, I am Judge Stephanie Abraham, and I am running for Circuit Court here in Kanawha County.
Judge Stephanie Abraham was appointed to the Circuit Court by Governor Jim Justice. Judge Stephanie Abraham owned and managed her own law firm and was an attorney for the Department of Education and general counsel for the State Board of Education. Judge Stephanie Abraham is a fair and balanced but tough judge who will always follow the Constitution to protect liberty and achieve justice for all.
I am Judge Stephanie Abraham. I appreciate your vote for Kanawha County Circuit Court.
Paid for by the committee to elect Judge Stephanie Abraham.
Are you ready to make every adventure awesome? Look no further than the new Thornhill Toyota. Introducing the 2023 Toyota Camry, Corolla, and RAV4. The ultimate companions for your journey. Whether it's the sleek Camry or the adventurous RAV4, we've got the perfect ride for you. And don't forget our unbeatable selection. We've got a ride for every style and budget. At the new Thornhill Toyota, we're not just selling cars, we're creating unforgettable adventures. So why wait? Visit us today and let's make every adventure awesome together. Click or come by at ThornhillToyotaWV.com or on the Thornhill Motor Mile, US 119 Chapmanville. See Thornhill for full details.
Don't miss this year's hottest tour, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, the ultimate rock holiday phenomenon. Friday, November 17th, Charleston Coliseum. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Ignite your senses with an electrifying fusion of rock and classical. Trans-Siberian Orchestras, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve. A portion of the proceeds benefiting WVU Medicine Children's.
Are you seeking ways to enhance your company's IT workforce? Bridge the workforce skills gap with Bridge Valley's IT training. Elevate your business capability with custom-tailored IT training that empowers your employees with certifications, continued education, and more. The best part? Training is low to no cost to your company. Bridge Valley can also feed a steady stream of skilled graduates and apprenticeships with a 50-50 salary match while training. Visit bridgevalley.edu/apprenticeships today.
We got 3 minutes away from the top of the hour. Got a couple texts to get to here. Biggly Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5850. Text line from Fruth is 304-935-5008. We're brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. Whether you're replacing a roof, remodeling a kitchen, or replacing a bathroom to keep it safe, keep it legal, get with Pinnacle Consultants. They can inspect your site, collect samples, perform lab analysis, and provide results within a week. Testing all renovations for mold, asbestos, and mold, and lead and mold. How many times can I say mold? Is the law in West Virginia. Visit PinnacleCorp.net for Pinnacle Consultants, because what you don't know can hurt you. Text to the show says, bravo to whomever made the decision to shut down Manna Meal. Well, it's not shut down, so to speak. They're still going to be offering the food trucks in the various areas. Over at Save-A-Lot over on the west side is just one of those that one of the spots that are available, and we'll get that the rest of that information out there as to where the other one is. But that's kind of where we are right now. And I can tell you, and I posted this last night on social media, as someone who works out of this building at 1111 Virginia Street East, something had to be done. I mean, as far as having what was going on across the street, this is me. I'm not speaking on behalf of the company. This is just Dave talking. What was going on across the street with the problems that we have in our parking lot here. We had nothing to do with the decision, by the way. What was going on at the 2 schools that are within walking distance of that facility, the violence, and I mean actual violence that went on across there. You had somebody that ended up being killed. Something had to be done. It had to be done. Services are still being offered. They're just going in an outreach type situation right now. But at least temporarily, it's been closed down across the street out of the church on Courier Street. All right, we got to go. Thank you so much to Mayor Goodwin for stopping by the show this morning. Joe Stevens, Fred Persinger, Tom Minturn, and more coming up on the show. It's Friday Funhouse tomorrow. Guest host Morgan Morrison, our good friend from Rock City Cake Company, will be on the show coming up tomorrow. Hoppy is on the way with Talk Line coming up at 10:06. Enjoy the rest of this Smoky Thursday smoke, supposedly going away. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM, 96.5 FM Charleston, and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.